I have to give trigger warnings because racists are not very clever, and this, they don't even guess the right continent when they're trying to insult you most of the time, let alone countries or anything like that. So there's a couple of things I need to say about this poem before I do. It contains the N-word, and if that's offensive, I apologise, but I'm using it in the context of the insults that were thrown at me. It also contains the P word, because like I said, racists are thick. They don't know what continent you're from, let alone anything else. Also, I must say as well, there's something that I learned from a black activist. Well, he was from Asia, but he classed himself as black when he came to Britain in the 50s, called Ambivalal Shivanandon, or Brother Shiv, as most people call him. And he just said, one of the things he wrote is there's no automatic unity of the oppressed. And that unity has to be reforged every time we have to engage in that struggle. So you find people, the Irish have a wonderful word for it, tuppence halfpenny, looking down on tuppence. I might be such and such, but at least I'm not. And that's the unity we have to forge, breaking down that crap. And unfortunately, my dad was a bit iffy on occasions with that, as you'll find out in this poem. So this was called On the Death of Muhammad Ali. Goodbye, butterfly. You stung like a bee. You stung me. From you, I learnt resistance. To all the nigger, pull the trigger, playground taunts, I could reply, come on, Bugner. The kids at school never listened to Blue Mink. They didn't know that what we needed was a great big melting pot. My parents did. They had me. The Ugandan Asian crisis hit, and I became a Paki overnight because Enoch was right and I should go back to where I came from, even though I was there already. And to some of the Asian kids, I was just another Gori. And the white girls didn't stay too long because they didn't want to be called dog meat by their peers. Shove thy neighbour. So tell me, what the hell is the colour of love? And the Rastas wore Wales football tops. They were red, gold and green. But to them I was a threat also. Babylon. I couldn't go back to Africa, a place I'd never been. And my heroes all spoke perfect English. Sidney Poitier, C.L.R. James. The old ladies in Cardiff docks told me about Africans when they came, how tall they were, how smart they were, in the top hats, spats and canes. And my granddad was a crewman. Then he joined the crew. He sailed and settled in the Bay of Tigers, raised a family. And my father was a half-caste, that's what they said back then. And he would sing calypso. Why don't you give me back the shilling with the lion pon it, lion pon it, lion pon it. As he did the washing up, but said Jamaicans were Johnny come lately, for fuck's sake, Dad. As I got older, boundaries blurred, bigotry rescinded like the tide. I became exotic, Amerindian, Latin American, because of long, straight black hair, and melanin darkened skin, myth-making identity yet again. And I don't know where I come from, but you don't know where I'm going. But I worry, the tide is coming in again, and sometimes I really do feel like throwing my hands up in the air. So goodbye, butterfly. You have spread your wings, and I have been stung by the world.